Ready?
In Ohio country today.
Well, you guys are better the first time. Okay,
oh, yeah, we're best without
Do it
practice.
again, do it again.
In Ohio country today.
You guys listening to us? I don't know what you're doing up there. Must have something to do with the altitude.
In Ohio country today.
That's good, that's good. We got a good one.
He says I'm going to use the...
In Ohio country today, brought to you in part by the following: Koenig Equipment, Allen Davis Insurance Agency, True Point Cooperative, the Ohio Soybean Council, the Ohio Corn Growers, Rural Community Insurance Services, and Poet Biorefining.
Hello once again. Warren Taylor of Logan County and Adrian Egbert of Shelby County joins us. We're going to be talking about a tractor tour. First, let's go to the Logan County side and tell us a little bit about how this all began.
Well, we started out a couple years ago. We was all going up to Manchester Farms to the big round barn, and both groups said, well, why don't we just go together? So we went together, and Shelby hosted it. And then last year, we invited Shelby County back to our county, and we took them on the eastern side of Logan County with all the hills, scenery. If you haven't been to Logan County, the eastern part is fairly rugged, very beautiful, and so we enjoyed that, and several of the fellows came back and brought their wives the next day. But when you're driving 50 miles an hour down the road, you do not see the things that 12 miles an hour provide you with. So anyway, we had a very nice time. So then this year we've decided to come back, and we toured several things in Shelby County. And now we're also starting on next year's plan for Logan County, to where we can invite this group that'll be different and unique. And that's where we're at. So.
Okay, thanks, Warren. Adrian, tell us, how is it to work with a different county? I'm sure for years that you have done things just with mostly Shelby County, maybe a few outside the county, but when you're involving another county club, how has that enhanced what you're doing?
Well, I've participated in many clubs showing my tractors. I've been in Logan County, I've been in Union County, and we've done a little tractor pulling over the years, and I kind of really enjoyed what was going on. Of course, I've been a member with Shelby County Club from the very beginning, and it's something to do for one thing. It's a hobby, you know, for me, and boys who was involved in it, and they kind of enjoyed doing it, and it was fun, I guess.
Well, now you like Minneapolis, Moline, and Twin City, and how is it when you get together with a lot of people like this? Is it sort of bragging rights, who has the best-looking tractor out there or best-looking equipment?
I don't think so. I think everybody just kind of hopes they got the good-looking tractor. I mean, nobody says, well, I got a better tractor than you have. I mean, we don't do that. So there's no judging going on. Like a lot of times, you know, you have car shows where they judge the cars, you know, and we don't do that with tractors. And of course, we take our tractor to the fair in Shelby County, and I think last year we had 100 tractors at the fairground, and that takes a lot of work. You know, the last couple of years I haven't participated in that because for a guy my age, it gets to be too much work.
Okay, well, Warren, you like Oliver's.
Yes. It's interesting. We started out with farmalls, and during the war you couldn't get farmalls, and the dealer didn't really care. And we went to see an Oliver tractor, and the test drive at that time in 1948 was the man had the tractor sitting out in front of the dealership. It had a heat houser on it and electric lights. And we got on the tractor and drove down the road in road gear, which that was fascinating too at that time. We drove down the road, drove back to the dealer. It was nice and warm behind that heat houser and the lights and everything. And we bought the tractor. Now, that's really what you call a test drive. But anyway, that's the way it worked, you know, back then. But once we got started, we just stayed with Oliver's then, you know.
Now, when you put on a tour like this, it's I would assume it's more than just logistics. You have to make a lot of detailed arrangements, probably getting law enforcement involved to keep things safe, and a lot of other details that a lot of people don't even think about.
Oh, yeah, that's the hard part, is planning ahead of time. Safety is one of the things we stressed this year. Shelby County invited us, and one of the things they said, everybody has to have a good slow-moving vehicle sign that is reflective. They also wanted everybody to have good brakes, which is just standard common sense, but there's a lot of things that sometimes happen that we don't take care of things like we should. So sometimes we need an update to make us wake up and take care of things.
Well, Adrian, I'm sure, too, that with the number of people that are involved, you have to make arrangements for food and refreshments in case it's really hot, enough liquid to keep folks cool, and that has to be a pretty big job as well.
Well, a lot of the drivers brought their own liquid along, and, of course, we had our lunch over at the schoolhouse, so that was about 11, quarter after 11 we had that done, because there was no problem there. It's one of them things, you know, you got to organize and have things ready to go.
I suppose, too, that you, as you're traveling along, you might tend to draw some people that aren't part of the festivities, but they see what's going on and they want to become a part of it, and that has to be satisfying, that you pique the interest of people that aren't even in the clubs.
Well, that's kind of the reason why we're doing it, try to draw other people's interest, you know, and maybe get new members. We need younger people, because most of those guys are getting up in age, and so that is, you know, you can't go forever. So that's the main thing, try to get new members, young people especially.
Well, I have to admit, all the years that I was involved with the county fairs, the one part of every fair that I walk through, and sometimes maybe every other day, if not every day, were the antique tractors, the antique equipment, and it just sort of brought you back to my early years, and that's always a good feeling. Is that what you feel?
Yes, I do. That's a good feeling, is right. People got something to look at for one thing, you know. A lot of times you go to the fair, you know, you have to have something to look at. Otherwise, for older people, they don't enjoy their rides no more, so they have to have something else to see it, and that's what they go to the fair for.
I always thought that, gosh, it brought back memories that I hadn't heard about or even thought about in years myself, and it's always, again, the good feelings.
Well, we have, at West Liberty each year, we have the Lions Club puts on a Labor Day festival, and we have an antique tractor parade, and we usually have about an hour and a half of tractors. Now, if you like to see old tractors, we're the place to come, and we'd love to have you come to West Liberty on Labor Day. It's on a Saturday. The fun part for me is the fellows that are sitting on their porches, and you can watch their eyes, and you can see them reminiscing about, I can remember that tractor, or I used to have one of those tractors. And that's the fun part, is watching the memories that you can never replace, but you still have those memories, and they're good memories, and that's the thing we like to do.
Warren Taylor of Logan County and Adrian Egbert of Shelby County, our guest, and we'll be back to tell you more about this tractor brigade that went through this part of Ohio right after this.
I'm Terry McClure, a fifth-generation soybean farmer. Farming can be tough, but we have the Ohio Soybean Council investing farmers' dollars to find new uses for soybeans. Their research helps develop better beans for livestock, poultry, and for people. It also helps create new products like soy-based cleaning supplies and paint cartridges. Plus, cleaner-burning soy biodiesel reduces our dependence on foreign oil. Soybeans are Ohio's #1 agricultural export. To learn more, visit soyohio.org.
Big Oil presents Mr. Slick and Dummy.
Do you know what the RFS is, Dummy? It's a renewable fuel standard. It requires the oil companies to blend renewable fuels with their gasoline.
And that's real bad, right?
Yeah, for Big Oil, because it means we use less oil and more renewable, Dummy.
Why doesn't Big Oil want you to know the RFS is good for America? You're no dummy. Don't let the oil industry treat you like one.
Hi, I'm Alan Davis, and I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you how proud I am to call Wapakoneta in Auglaize County my hometown. Not only do we have a rich heritage of agricultural production in this area, but a rich heritage of pioneers as well. From the original settlers to Neil Armstrong, first man on the moon, we have it all right here in Auglaize County. So if you're in Wapakoneta or St. Mary's, stop at one of our offices or give us a call at 800-686-2148 or check us out on the web at allendavisinsurance.com.
Welcome back to In Ohio Country Today. With us now is Bruce Davis from the Shelby County Antique Power Association. And Bruce, you were part of a very special event that took place over this past weekend, something that you guys do on a regular basis. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, we have had tractor drives. This makes the fourth one that we've put on now ourselves. 2 years ago, we went with the Logan County Club, and it's worked out real well for us. So this year, last year they put one on. We went over there. They came over to our drive this year. There's 3 people that's on our committee. We put the thing together. We kind of get a route planned. Then we get together, we drive it. And I've been the one I'm going to take the blame for it if it doesn't go right. But I kind of put it together, got an idea, then I get together with my other 2 committee members. We drive it, we tweak it, and then we propose it to the club, and they have the right to say, well, we're going to do it or we don't, but we've never been turned down.
In the planning stages, how long does that take? I mean, are you starting to plan next year's event right now? And, how many days, how many weeks, how many man hours go into planning each year's event?
Well, this next year we won't have any planning in that because it's Logan County's turn to put that on. But I already have something in the back of my mind for the event 2 years from now. Now, I may not be on the committee, so, but I'm not really worried about that. And I said that maybe I should quit this time because we have had such a great tractor drive this year. Couldn't have been any better.
Well, Bruce, how long is the event? How long is the drive?
We had 33 miles this year, just 33 miles and 3/10 to be exact. We got a guy that's on our committee, Jim Perry. He's the computer guy, and he lays all this stuff out on a map, and he's got everything timed down to just within minutes of when we're going to be someplace. And if we get started on time and we maintain our speeds, he is right on. And like this year, I guess we got started 10 minutes late, and we got back to Jackson Center 10 minutes late. That's how good of a job that Jim does.
Bruce, one of the things that I'm kind of curious about is these are antique tractors, so regardless of whether or not you're going 10 miles or 15 miles, it requires a certain amount of fuel. Did anybody have to stop and fuel up along the way to get home?
No, really. To be truthful with you, though, on that 33-mile run, I've got a tachometer on the tractor that I use. I ran about 1,000 RPMs. I used probably about 5 gallons of fuel. Wow. So some of them that has to run a little bit, maybe one run a little bit faster in order to maintain the speed, they probably use a little bit more fuel. But nobody has ever had to stop and buy fuel that I know of.
One of the things that we always talk about when it comes to collecting items or collectors, if you will, is that you don't have to be a race car driver to enjoy collecting sports cars. And in Bruce's case, you don't really have to be a farmer to collect antique tractors, do you?
No, like I say, I'm a farm boy at heart that never got to farm. Years ago, we used to sponsor plowing matches, and I was very successful in that. Matter of fact, I guess maybe I'm blowing my own horn, but when we plowed in the antique class, I won 4 national matches. And when we plowed, when I got done there, they had a ruling that you could only win 4 nationals, but I could switch over into another class, and I plowed in 4 small plow classes, which I won 4 nationals. And that entitled me to plow in 4 Worlds matches.
Joining us now is Jim Perry. Jim is from the Shelby County Antique Power Association as well, past president. Jim, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you for coming to see us.
Well, tell us a little bit about that event and
how important it is to at least bring that history back to the general public and remind them of what it was like back in the day.
Well, we started this about 5 years ago just to exercise our tractors and have fun with the stuff that we have. We weren't out to be showmen or anything, but we did find out a lot of people do take an interest, come out on the porch steps, sit there with I've seen grandmothers with their grandkids come out at the end of the driveway. And of course, some of these tractors run quiet enough, I can talk to them too and say, ask them, say good morning and whatever. We were really taken back by this drive because there were a lot of people, a lot of farm sets out there. There's a lot of industry going on. I mean, people working, doing little things in their shops, mowing their lawns or whatever, and they would stop and they would take a look. So we're not here to be shown. We just go find country roads that are vacant, so we don't cause a lot of congestion. But this was a really good year for us, and we've had others as well with the Bell Fountain Club. They got a little different topography over there. We've got flat country, and they've got the hills and the curves. It was fun.
Well, Jim, tell us a little bit about your background. How'd you get started, and what kind of tractors are you riding these days?
Well, a lot of us, most of us in the club have got a strong farm background, but then we went off to do something else, and I did the same. But we come back to it, and our way of coming back to it is collect these old tractors because they're relatively cheap to buy and a lot of work to put together, so it's fun. But anyway, we do a lot of activities in our club like this to keep, so we have some exercise of the vehicles, and sometimes with implements even. But anyway, plow days, stuff like that. We have do community stuff, hay wagons rides, and we're not trying to promote our club as much as we are just trying to help the community and the people from whatever needs we can. So I have found it to be a good release. I'm retired, and I was just able to build a collection of International Harvester is what I got. McCormick's and Deering is McCormick Deering farmhalls, red tractors in other words primarily.
One of the things that we've had the opportunity to do is to participate in the Red Power Roundup up in Allen County, and it was very exciting to see the history of mechanization. When you look at where we've been and where we're going, especially for somebody like you who actually has hands-on involvement in restoring these, how important is it for you to help educate the general public in what it's done and how the difference it's made for the American farmer?
It's fairly important. Like, we will take 100 tractors up to the Shelby County Fair and put them on display, and people come by, and it's old timers reminiscing on what they had or what they had rode on when they were kids. But it's a lot of young kids too, and people will get in discussion. Well, what's that for? How was it used? And particularly when we can show it with implements and stuff. And of course the kids like to see them running. They like to get up on them, and that's okay with us. I mean, we don't want to get hurt. But on the other hand, if that's education, if that helps, show that history line, because on the other side of the fairgrounds is the new stuff like we got here at Cana, and those kind of tractors. So the evolution of tractors, I guess, is important, but that wasn't, most of us just got into it because of our history, and we used to have one of those tractors or one of those, and so we want one again, and like Dad had or Granddad had,
Joining us now is Aaron Stallings, and Aaron, give us your take on last weekend's event and what it means to get out and celebrate the history of farming mechanization.
Well, we thought the weekend went fantastic. The tractor drive was phenomenal. It was planned well, and I think everybody enjoyed it. We really like to get out. Number one, we like to get out and have fun, and this is fun for us. It's the most fun you can have at 10 miles an hour. You see a lot. We see a lot as we're traveling through the country that you don't see by car. So folks do enjoy it. People in the country, they hear us coming, and they like to see the antique equipment. I, for one, just enjoy being around the antiques. We really aren't deep restorers ourselves, but we do cosmetic and any light type of mechanical work that needs to be done. I'll just have to tell you, I have a son who was 14 at the time he bought his first John Deere A. And at the age of 15, he completely restored the tractor and put it back with a clear coat paint job. And his was the nicest tractor that we own. So it's his tractor, though, not mine. But we enjoy it from that perspective, but we really enjoy just getting out and playing with them.
And one of the things that we want to emphasize is that this type of event or this type of organization, it's just not for your daddy or your granddaddy. It's something that you can bring multiple generations into it and have fun, right?
That's true. As a matter of fact, what's interesting about this, sometimes those of us who are younger, who had grandparents that farmed, we try to get the equipment they had. So for instance, I couldn't find the exact tractor, but my grandfather always farmed with a Farmall B. So I made sure, he's in his 90s today, so I made sure I have a Farmall B in my collection.
Joining us now are Tim Davis, the secretary of the Shelby Club, and Emerson Watkins, the historian. Why in the world would you want to get involved with antique power tractors, power equipment?
I had a brother, he passed away about 8 years ago, that has a very nice collection, and he kind of got the rest of us involved with it, so that's how we got started.
You got the bug, huh?
Yep, got the bug, yep.
Okay, what is your collection like right now?
I have to think here, I got I think seven or eight Case, I got 4 John Deeres and 1 Oliver.
Your favorite?
Probably the John Deere, because that's what we farm with now.
Okay, all right. Well, Emerson Watkins is the historian. As historian of the club, how far back does the club go?
The club was organized in February of 1977. 13 people organized the club. In fact, Tim is one of the original members. I'm not, but and it's probably around 75 members now. So it's grown over the years.
So now, do you have an agricultural background?
I was born and raised on a farm. I farmed till 2000, and I also worked in town off the farm.
Okay, well, let me ask you, why in the world would you want to get involved in restoring, I should say, or getting involved with the club?
Well, I decided I wanted to get all the tractors I ever farmed with. That's what got me started, and I got those models. I don't have all of the ones I actually used, but I've got models of what I used over the years.
I'll ask you your favorite.
I started with a Super MTA Farmall, and then I've got 2 Olivers, a Case, and I think I got 7 Farmalls now.
Now, you put in a lot of hours with your own tractors that you have, your own collection. Has it been worth it?
I think so. I enjoy it. You know, you got so many, you can't get them all out and play with it, but just walking in the shed and looking down the line, it's rewarding.
Something that you feel is something good to leave the next generation?
Oh, sure, and it's a good investment, actually. Antique tractors are valuable. There's a good market for them.
But you know what? I don't really recall anybody getting a tractor from their parents or grandparents or great-grandparents that turn around and try to sell them to make money. It's memories that you want to keep from one generation to the next. Is that the way you see it?
Yes. In fact, my 2 brothers each have a tractor that our grandfather had. So we and my grandkids love sitting on our tractors and driving them also. So.
The only thing I can say in closing would be, you see a lot of the huge tractors that do so much more today than your tractors ever hoped to do, but that's where these tractors got their beginning. So there's that base point or that historical point that means so much, and I think it behooves anyone in this generation or our children, grandchildren, if you have a chance, take them by these displays and let them see a little bit of history. We've been visiting with Emerson Watkins and Tim Davis of the Shelby County Club. Thanks for being with us, and stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
Give your soybean crop an extra edge this growing season with Progressive Crop Technology, PCT products, a brand of TruePoint Cooperative. PCT soybean foliar products strengthen roots, promote flower retention, stimulate the plant's immune system to fight off disease, and help retain water when dry spells hit. Want more yield on each acre? Ask your TruePoint representative today about PCT soybean foliar products, or go online to pctnutrients.com.
Welcome back to In Ohio Country Today. Joining me now is Mike Bensman here from Cana Equipment. We're at your Anna location, and Mike, you were very instrumental in helping the Logan County and the Shelby County Antique Tractors Association and their tour to bring them here to Cana. Tell us a little bit about what you guys did here, what you showed them, and what you made available to them.
Okay, I was contacted by Bruce Davis, the chairman of the committee, and he asked to put some things together here at the Anna store to bring the group in, look over modern equipment. So we set up a display in our pre-delivery shop, and I think we had the planter sprayer in there spread out, and we just wanted to have an example of what was and what is there now in modern equipment. So.
Mike, it's kind of exciting when you see these organizations that are out there talking about the history of farming mechanization and keeping that story alive. How exciting is it for you guys to be a part of that organization and what they're doing?
Oh, it was great. It was an honor to have them in. It's kind of neat for me to see what they brought in. Things from the past, remember in my old days when I used to rake hay on an old bee, and now how things are. And of course, our big ticket is auto steer and helping customers being more productive in production agriculture. So things have really changed over time.
Yeah, no question about it. If you want more information about those changes, those updates, that new technology, you might want to give Mike a call and check these guys out on the web at www.canaequipment.com. Mike, thanks for joining us, and thanks for helping us coordinate this.
All right. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
This is Ken Koenig from the Koenig Care Minute, reminding you that if you need parts, service, or product support, or that new equipment, don't hesitate to call us at any one of our locations or visit us on the website at CanigEquipment.com.
Hey, that's going to do it for this week's edition of In Ohio Country Today from the headquarters of one of our fine sponsors, Cana Equipment, here in beautiful Anna, Ohio. If you want more information, check them out on the web at CanigEquipment.com. That's CanigEquipment.com. Or check us out on the web, and we'll have a link to their site at InOhioCountry.com. Have a good day, everybody.